I'll give a quick background on this bass, just in case you haven't seen one of these or you haven't seen any of my other videos. This is a Schecter Riot Session bass, 5-string, and these are part of a series that was sort of like a stripped back, affordable series with EMG pickups by Schecter. I use this bass as grounds for trying a whole bunch of different EMG pickups because of the easy swappability, and then after some, I don't know, just some curiosity and also some problems, I chose to go passive pickups with active electronics to be able to have an active passive bypass. I made a post on TalkBass asking people what EMG shaped pickups I should try, and one of the ones that seemed to be suggested was the Nordstrand Zen blades. I was also curious about the Zen blades, so that one won out. It turns out that the Zen blades, although they sound great, they're not really exactly what I'm going for. The Zen blades would be perfectly acceptable for pretty much all people, but I have a whole bunch of basses with really high output pickups, and the Zen blades make it impossible to balance between two basses on back-to-back songs or swapping basses during a show. So I needed something with a little bit more power, which led to me getting Aguilar DCBs in this bass. Well, then out of curiosity, after using the DCBs for a while, I spotted these EMG HZ pickups with pole pieces. Well, these aren't real pole pieces. These are completely fake. The part number says EP, like exposed pole, but no, these are completely fake. It is little round shiny things glued onto a pickup. EMG has a outlet store that they run on Reverb, and they sell random odds and ends on there at a discount, pretty good discount. And these showed up, and it was a good price. And I thought to myself, okay, this is a good chance for me to test something out that I've been curious about. Solid black passive pickups. These aren't solid black, but you know what I mean. Like the Aguilar DCB, the Seymour Duncan SSB, the EMG HZ. I bet you that they sound the same. I'm exaggerating a little bit there, but so I got these, and I made a quick comparison between the DCB and the EMG HZ, and they are so close, extremely close. It's crazy how close they are, which tells me a few things. First of all, the Aguilar DCBs, the 5-string set retails for $269, and I don't know what these retail for as of the moment right now, but it's about $100 a pickup. I saw that EMG recently had a price increase, but the EMGs come with wiring and pots and an output jack and stuff like that. I guess the only thing I'm implying right now is that the Aguilar price makes them seem premium when really it's not. They are not premium over EMG. I feel like they're kind of the same thing. Right. So I'm sticking with these EMGs purely because I feel like this is sort of a full circle moment for this bass. It was stock with EMG active pickups, a J and a DC, which are a very mismatched, unbalanced, strange set of pickups to put in a bass. It's better when you have pickups that are similar output and similar sound, right? Like these two. It's funny to think about these being in here because I think these pole piece ones were made for a different Schecter model. You can't quote me on that, but I've seen a Schecter model from years past that had some EMG HZ pickups that looked like this. And also there's a whole bunch of Schecter pickups that use the HZs with active electronics. And they're sort of looked at as a lesser quality. They're not as good as the active stuff or whatever. And I think that comes from some of the old HZs being made overseas some years ago. But these are made in America. They're good. They're quiet. They sound pretty similar to the CS model, but they make for a good active-passive setup. I'm not using these with the EMG electronics. I'm using these with a Tone Monster preamp that I decided to get. So it's sort of strange to land here. It almost makes it seem like everything I did to the bass seems pointless, but it's really not. It was a learning process. It was experimentation. I have some videos of the sound samples that I've taken. I learned what things sound like. I experienced playing this bass live. I made some recordings with the Zen Blades. I made some recordings with the Aguilar, and I mean like that are going to be on a record. And now I have this in here. So there are other pickups that I want to try in these housings. And now I find myself at interesting crossroads because this feels like such a full circle moment and I like the way these sound. I don't want to change anything else despite what I see. What I'm getting at is when I decided on the Zen Blades originally, I was also very interested in other Nordstrand pickups, like the Big Rig and the Big Split, those two particularly. And I should have probably gone with one of those because I think I would have preferred them over the low output of the Zen Blades. Now I know, and I don't really want to buy any of those for this bass because they have to be custom ordered with a particular string spacing. And this bass is at a 16.5-ish millimeter spacing in the bridge, and it's the only bass I have like this. So I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm having to be stuck with pickups that I custom ordered even though I'm not using them anymore. I'm also very, very curious about the LeCompte pickups. Particularly the triple threat pickups that are split coil, like a P bass that fit into a cover like this. They also have one that's called the double down, which is essentially a humbucker with a very interesting magnet spacing. I have a feeling that it would sound like a humbucker, but the difference between a bass humbucker with ceramic and Alnico can be a pretty interesting thing to check out. The Alnico has a different sort of attack to the note. One cool thing about these EMGs is they are pretty high output, but I think that they are bound to the 10 to 11 kilo ohm range, and they sound like humbuckers because they are, but they have less of the nasal like punch to the attack of the note that some humbuckers do. You listen to a Thunderbird pickup or the Aguilar DCB, this that I took out of here. They have this really nasal thing, particularly when you solo like the neck pickup. It has this hit. Now that's the kind of thing that really stands out in a mix, but it's harsh. I think it's undesirable for a lot of bass players. I don't like the way it sounds on its own, but like in a mix it could sound pretty good. But this is less pronounced. I think the peak of the frequency is a little higher up. I'm going to show you that in passive mode with some tone roll off, you can come up with some pretty cool stuff with these. Let me know what you think about the sound of this. It's very interesting, the entire journey that the bass has been through. Again, like I said, I want to leave these alone, but maybe in the grand scheme of things, when all is said and done, they will change again at some point. I'm not really sure. We will see.